Hey, welcome back. It's Cavallo from datingfire.com and datingadviceguru.com. Oh, I got a big one for you today. Why do men cheat? Oh, there's so much juicy stuff in this topic. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am to cover it. I've talked about this one before, but there's so much to talk about here. We're going to hit it again. And I'm going to give you some stuff you've probably never heard about before. Stay tuned. And before we get rolling with this wonderful video podcast, why don't you do the big three that you know you love? Hey, number one, like and subscribe. Why not? You want to get more of the stuff every week. And make sure you, of course, turn on notifications, that little bell indicator next to the subscribe button. And number three, if you got any questions, stories, comments, whatever, put them down in the comment section below. So why do men cheat? I mean, is it just men that are cheating? No, the truth is that both genders cheat. And strangely enough, not always the same reasons, but pretty close. Here's something you might not know. 92% of men cheat for something other than physical reasons, meaning other than for the sex. Can you believe that? Well, you should, because it's true. It's amazing, isn't it? And here's the surprising part, and that is that women cheat more than men for the physical part, for the sex. I know it's crazy, but that's the truth. Now, what are the top reasons for guys cheating? Well, again, majority of guys will tell you that it's usually an emotional disconnection in the relationship. It's this feeling of being underappreciated. Maybe not getting enough thoughtful gestures, or maybe she's complaining more than she's appreciating. Men are very emotional beings. In fact, most people don't know this, but men are typically, well, let's talk about it as boys. Boys, when they're very young, are typically more empathic and more emotional than girls are. Did you know that? It's true, and socialization, of course, does its nasty little job where men turn their backs on their more empathic side, and, well, we see the differences in the sexes. Now, there are a lot of things that are inherited that's more nature than nurture, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff about guys that most women just don't know. Well, here's the other part. When it comes to cheating, well, there's a lot of things that get in the way, right, of our relationships. We have things like bills, children, chores. There's so many crazy things that can stop you from appreciating the other person like you should. In fact, in a lot of cases, men don't feel appreciated because they feel like the kids are getting most of the appreciation and most of the attention in their relationships. And here's another crazy thing is, how often does a guy actually cheat on his wife with a woman who's more attractive? Well, you might think it happens all the time, right? But the truth is, 88% of the situations where men strayed from their relationships with new women, with other women, with different women, said that the other woman that they were seeing was no better looking than their own wife. In many cases, not as good looking. That's kind of crazy, huh? So why would he do that? Well, of course, the reasons are usually emotional. A man wants to feel validated. He wants to feel like he's worthy, like he's being appreciated. And gratitude is the best way to do that, ladies, if you're wondering how to stop that kind of cheating. The fact of the matter is, that is the number one reason that most guys give for wanting to cheat. It's they want to get something that's not in their primary relationship. And you know what? That's what women are asking for too. They want something that they're not getting in their relationship. So there you go, big reveal. The real reason that people cheat is because they want something they're just not getting in the relationship. And that's kind of a duh. Obviously, you wouldn't have a reason to go elsewhere if that were the case. Now, funny thing is, it doesn't mean that the person's not attracted to their partner or their spouse or their mate, which means there's always a chance to repair and fix this. But first, let's step back for a second. What is cheating? How do you define cheating? What would you say is cheating? This is one I definitely want you to put in the comment section below. Tell me what you think cheating actually is. For some people, it's the emotional side of it. The emotional connection that somebody forms with somebody else is a form of cheating. What about the physical side? Is it sex alone cheating, or does there have to be emotions with that? What about just kissing? What about just being attached to somebody else? What about disclosure? What if you tell somebody intimate details about your life that you wouldn't tell your wife? Is that cheating? Well, let's talk about some of the more important reasons that men have given for cheating in a relationship. Number one is that they're looking for a way out of the relationship. Sometimes when guys cheat, it is because they're trying to get out of a relationship, and this is the first step. They're trying to tell themselves, well, I'm valid. You know, they're looking for validation on one side, and the other side, they're kind of hoping they get caught so that they can end the primary relationship and just get out of it. Of course, another reason is that they're looking for connection. What most gender norms tell us about men is that, well, cheating is almost always for physical reasons, right? A man has to prove his virility, he has to conquer. Yeah, well, that's not always true. If they're feeling unseen or disconnected from their partner, those things they're going to hurt a guy, and they're going to make him go someplace where he wants to protect himself. How does a man protect himself? He wants to emotionally buffer. He wants to put a kind of emotional cushion around himself with a new relationship. And if you have to consider most of the factors here, the reality is that men are much less likely to have a good social and emotional support system. Things like close male friends that they feel like they can talk about this stuff with. So who are they going to go to? They may end up going to another woman. Most women form this kind of attachment and connection with a guy. Next reason is that they have some kind of sociopathic or narcissistic traits. I know this is the one you were hoping to hear, right? A lot of people think this is the primary reason that guys cheat. Unfortunately, it's not. The reality is that this is kind of a small percentage of most guys. But there are these guys out there, the guys that just can't get enough. They're always just looking to make themselves feel better and to prove how awesome they are. They want what they want, and that's it. They just go out and take it, that they don't consider the other person's emotions. The reality is, we never consider other people's emotions when we have to meet our own emotional needs. Or if we do consider other people's emotions over our own, after a while, that takes a toll, and it will definitely, eventually, you're going to come to a crisis point in your life. There are certain people out there who just can't understand the impact of what they're doing on other people, and yes, narcissism qualifies for this. Another reason that people cheat, guys cheat, women cheat for this too, is revenge cheating. Oh yeah, that's another big one. Some people act out, they cheat from anger or jealousy or a desire for revenge or kind of like a stab at their partner. Even if the other partner hasn't actually cheated on them, if they've done something to upset their partner, like having a close friendship with somebody else or doing something they don't like, they can actually make that decision. And believe it or not, this is one of the most likely reasons that a woman will cheat. There's an excellent book I want to recommend to you, which is called Why Women Have Sex. And it talks about all the various reasons why women will have sex with a guy. And of course, they talk about cheating as one of those situations, and revenge cheating is one of them too. Another reason a guy cheats is that he's struggling with some kind of substance abuse and he's got some emotional dependency issues. Again, another small issue there, but it can come up. Another one is that, of course, they're seeking validation. When you're feeling insecure, low self-esteem, that can push somebody to cheat, especially if they're not getting that validation in their relationship. And then some woman shows up and says, hey, you're really attractive, you're really sexy, and starts to give them all that kind of validation and make them feel good. Of course, a guy's going to pay attention to that. Come on. Sometimes it just comes down to emotional immaturity. Now, emotional immaturity really translates into a guy who just didn't get to sow enough wild oats. He didn't get to go out there and enjoy himself when he was younger and get the sexual experience that he really wanted. This happens quite a bit, a lot more than most guys would like to admit, but they just didn't get laid in high school, didn't get laid in college, didn't get laid whenever. They find somebody that they can finally sleep with, and of course, it seems only logical, if I want to keep getting regular sex, I got to get married, right? Or I got to get into a long-term relationship. And then he discovers the real reason he got into that relationship wasn't so smart. It wasn't for love. It was just for, that. Look, it ain't pretty, I get it. But there's also many other people out there, including women, who do something similar in a relationship. They go to the relationship for something that they are lacking, not that they really want in the other person. Again, ultimately it comes down to, are you getting your needs met? Is he getting his needs met? And if so, well, that's going to tell you right there exactly what's going on. If you're not getting needs met, that should be a big sign to you that something is going to be tempting very soon. And if he's not getting his needs met, same thing. Look, most guys don't want to cheat. Nobody wants to cheat. This is the most highly charged topic that I can possibly talk about. Cheating is so emotionally involving, in fact, that if you talk to somebody who's been cheated on, they immediately shut down and slam down a wall in front of you and immediately have their decisions and their particular spin on the reasons for cheating and That's usually because they got cheated on. I get it. It's totally painful. It sucks. Look, when it comes right down to it, does it matter why? There's something missing there, right? See, there's something missing in him or something missing in your relationship. And that's the thing you got to really figure out. What is that thing that's missing? What is going on that would make a man not want to attend to the relationship and stay with you in that relationship? So if you know he's in love with you and you know, and this happens to you, yes, you can repair it. Yes, you can forgive him. And yes, you can get past this feeling of betrayal once you understand the real reason. And of course, you got to do a little bit of work. But here's the big deal. The real big deal is, why let it happen in the first place? Cheating never has to happen if you're focused on the relationship in the right way. And you know what to do to keep a man completely and irresistibly desiring you. Love has an incredible amount of intense emotion in it. There's so many situations, there's so many opportunities out there for us to do the wrong thing that you got to give a guy every opportunity to do the right thing. And that's up to you because, well, you're one half of that relationship. That's what I teach women how to do your part in the relationship to make the relationship solid, to make him fall in love with you and want to stay in love with you, and he will not want to go cheat on you. He will not look at another relationship. If you want to find out more about this, I've got a ton of great information. It's not stuff that I typically put into these particular videos or the podcast or anything like that, and that's where you need to go over to datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. That's datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. I've got a quick and easy little question page. Chances are you came to my channel because you wanted to have some question answered about guys, about relationships. You probably got a ton more. I don't care what those questions are, but you need someplace reliable to get the answers. That's what I'm here for. Go on over to datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. That's datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. Just put in your question there. If you don't have a question, you can leave it blank. Just put your email in, and I'm going to send you my free ebook, The 7 Mistakes Women Make That Push Men Away, that make men run from relationships. This is really the stuff you got to know. The number one success factor in every relationship is addressing the problems before they become problems. Seeing this stuff before it becomes an issue in your relationship. Knowing how men think. Knowing what men are looking for. Do you know that right now? Do you feel confident, like 90 to 100% confident that you could give a man exactly what he needs in your relationship? If that's anything less than 90%, trust me, you need this information. Go on over to datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. You can get my ebook, you'll get on my VIP newsletter, you'll get more of my great info that you can listen to anytime and start getting yourself educated. Not to mention, I've also got a great bunch of programs that can teach you the concentrated stuff. These courses will put you on the path to mastery with men. Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo from datingfire.com and datingadviceguru.com. Hey, before you run away, make sure you do the big 3. What are they? Like and subscribe. You stuck around to the end. You must really want more of this stuff. Before you go to another video, do that, like and subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notifications so you know when next week's video, hint, hint, next week's video comes out. And of course, leave me your questions and comments below. Really, everything. Your comments, your stories, I want to see them. This is good stuff that I can use for my future videos. And remember, cheating does not have to kill your relationship, and you can prevent it from ever showing up again. This is Carlos Cavallo from datingfire.com. As always, live and love with passion.